buddy. Let's see if I can get some audio in here. Anybody tell me if they can hear me out there? Why can I not get the chat working? Give me a second here while I work through some technical difficulties, I guess.
Download the Domino's app today and become a piece of the pie
right
reward.
There. They won't let me skip my own ads. How about that? All right. There, we're working now. Anyway, as you can see by the thumbnail, we can't have nice things. We used to have a pretty blue Mac in the fleet. It's not so pretty anymore. I'm having to read the chat on my tablet here because I can't see it on the phone. This app here kind of sucks. But yeah, Swift has done it again. Okay, Vic Med in here. Thanks for coming in. He's working tonight too, so we're both working. Yeah. Swift got me again, man. That's the second time we've gotten hit by a Swift truck. Parked. Well, one time was me. First time it was I don't know, 2017, I guess. I was sleeping in a truck stop, and the guy was parked next to me, and he pulled out and didn't pull far enough forward before he started to turn, and he just started to turn, and the swing of his trailer went right down the side of my cab, snagged my front bumper, actually lifted the front of the truck off the ground. I can't believe it was strong enough to do that. But and then dropped it back down, and I'm in the sleeper, and it went like this, and I slammed my head into the side of the sleeper, kind of like that. That really freaking hurt. But and then he tried to run, so I had to chase across him in the parking lot I threw my pants on and my shoes, and trying to hold my pants up. I didn't have my belt on. Caught him in the driveway and pulled off his red airline so he couldn't get away, and then he had to come back and fess up to it. So, and then not yesterday, but the day before, the guy with the blue Mac was in the truck stop. And not in the truck stop, he was backed into a dock getting loaded. And Swift pulled out from next to him, cut the corner too short, and drug the side of his trailer down the front of the truck. So that happened. And that's the second incident like that within a month. Had another driver get hit too. My chat isn't working here on the tablet. I don't know why. There we go. We got it going. All kinds of people in here. Oh, Wildbeard's in here. Thanks for coming in, man. Nevada. Trucking Up. Freight Trucking. Vic Med. Pop-Tart Gone Trucking wants a wrench. I'll do that after I'm off the air here. Hold on. Can I do it while I'm on here? Nope. Can't do it I can't do it while I'm live here. But yeah, so that happened, and now we got to get that truck that got hit by a pickup truck. That thing's been down going on a month and a half. So just the truck, and then we got to get the trailer fixed too. But now this truck will be down. I don't know. We'll get it in for an estimate. Who knows? And then Swift calls me today trying to circumvent my insurance company. So there's snakes in all directions, I guess. Yeah, Cash is King says this is a pretty realistic green screen. Yeah, we're in the truck here tonight. A lot of people want it off for Thanksgiving, so I'm going to go run some freight and service some customers here that needed a little bit of help. Oh, that's not Wildbeard? Okay. No problem. But yeah, So we're out here tonight. I'm gonna pick up a load of onions tomorrow in the morning. Take them down to Indiana. And let's go live here tonight. What else was there? Oh, so anybody looking for some cheap trucks, I put cheap in quotations, of course. Found some advertisement today in Wisconsin. Somebody has some, let me check my notes here. From 2016 to 2018 Kenworth T680s. 500 to 600,000 miles, starting at 60 grand, which is, that's a lot, but man, compared to what we've been seeing, you know, these things going for 90 grand, 60 grand don't seem too far off. They have Cummins or Packard. Actually, they're really sharp trucks. I can't show a picture of it here because I'm using the phone for the live stream. Swollen Plums in here. Like My Freedom says $6,500 for a CDL in Washington State. I was told to do it by a few rude Prime recruiters, and all I asked was if Prime recognized Pacific Northwest CDL school out at Tacoma if I applied with Prime after I get my CDL. What, do they take you or not? Does Prime take a CDL from out there? I don't see why they wouldn't. Let me know. Not my chat. Oh, L Stacker is throwing some potatoes. This stupid chat won't keep up. Oh well. Yeah, so I found those Kenworths for sale. If anybody's interested in a 16 to 18 Kenworth, shoot me an email at DIYSemi@yahoo.com, and I'll definitely send you the phone number. I don't know if I want to give it out here because I don't want them getting bugged. So they got quite a few units. If I needed one right now, I might be looking at those because they got Packard or Cummins, and not exactly the truck I want, but the price is, I mean, all things relative, price seems pretty reasonable. They're really nice trucks, and that company takes really good care of their equipment. I wish they had some reefer trailers for sale because I'd be in the market for a couple of their trailers if they had them, but they're not selling any right now. Pop-Tart says, was told some trucks going for $15 in Laredo, but don't know where. Okay. Yeah, I'm guessing those trucks are pretty hot, probably $15K. That's pretty cheap. Gotta wonder in today's market what they're all about. Might have some problems. Nevada says, I have an appointment scheduled to install a green APU on my truck in early December. All right. I don't know anything about those APUs. I had one battery-powered APU in my life, and I did not like it. But from what I understand, the green APU is supposed to be pretty good. I wouldn't know. I know just Truckman promotes them, so I don't even know. I do know of one person that had one that said he did not like it, so I don't know. Oh, Stephen Davis in here, thumbs up, poop emoji, thanks. But I don't know. Can't find any more trailers reasonably priced. If you find one, it's gone that same day. Kind of had somebody sent me one the other day. It was a $35,000 for a 2013, which is super high, but man, I'd rather pay that $35 for a 2013 than $75 for a 2016 or 2015, because I could do some work to that 2013, make her pretty nice again. Actually, it was a really nice trailer. I don't think it needed anything. It only had 12,000 hours on the unit. Swollen Plum says, stay away from green APU. You won't like it come summer. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard people are pretty disappointed with the air conditioning aspect of them, especially if you're in the South. Those battery-powered APUs, man, the air conditioning just isn't what you'd want it to be, if you ask me. Nevada says 23,000 BTU should do good in the summer, but what's the duration of that? I mean, a lot of the battery-powered APUs that I've experienced only put out good cold air for about 5 or 6 hours. You know, if I'm sleeping, I kind of want it to run all night. But I don't know. I shouldn't even talk about it. I don't have any experience with the green APU. How much does it cost, Nevada? How much is a green APU? I'd like to know. I couldn't be happier with my tri-pack. I couldn't be any happier at all. The air conditioning will freeze you out of the damn truck. Up here in the cold, I want that heat, hot as could be, circulating the coolant. I'm pretty happy with it. Fate Truckin' had one and he took it off. He said, trust me, you won't be happy. Yeah, that Mac I bought has one on there too. It doesn't work. I haven't dug into it yet. I know it needs new batteries. It probably needs a few other things. But haven't even gotten to it yet. They raised the price installed. It's $11,500. Wow. I don't know. Trucker's Coach got one for $12,000. I don't know that I'd spend that much on one, honestly. Just the experience I've had with electric APUs, not happy. Not a happy customer. I couldn't be happier with the tri-pack I got. But, you know, to each his own, obviously. How much is that Just Truckin' discount get you for off the green APU? I'm wondering. $150 for the stainless cover, and I want control located in front of cab. Okay. I know on the tri-pack that control in the cab is about an $800 option, but yeah, Sam Sar says $1,500 for a generator and a split unit AC. I was about to build my own APU unit. I don't know. I just decided not to do it. I ended up using the generator for some other stuff. I got this generator thing. I just can't have enough generators. I got like 4 generators. But with the exception of one of them, I use the other ones. The one big one I leave sit just for emergencies. I run it. I don't know, for emergencies. Geez, I got a freaking standby unit. I don't know. I just can't bring myself to get rid of a generator. It makes me feel good just to have them in case I need them. Green APU is diesel powered. No discount for Just Truckin'. Really? Well, he promotes it pretty hard. I would think that, oh, maybe he just gets something. Maybe you don't get anything, but maybe he gets something. I'll be darned. Interesting. Hey, I learned something the other day. I tried this out because they suggested it to me. So we wanted to pass it along. This Infinity Lube spray. You see that from Fuel Ox? I talked to them the other day because I talked to him about something else. And he said, you know what? Somebody tried it and told me, use it on your fifth wheel. So when you got to where you don't have a lot of grease left on your fifth wheel, spray your fifth wheel with this. Because the main ingredient in here is the friction eliminator. So I did. And I'll be darned. I didn't even need to put grease on my fifth wheel. Because this Columbia rides like hell if you don't keep that fifth wheel greased. It's just awful. Anybody who has a Columbia probably has experienced that. So I kind of scraped it. I didn't steam it. It still has the grease residue on it. And I just sprayed it good and heavy with this before I hooked up with the trailer. I'll be darned if it doesn't ride just like a greased fifth wheel. So I'm going to keep doing that. And then plus, with winter coming, I'm thinking, you know, you get that cold grease, and sometimes your jaws stick or they don't latch because you got grease buildup, and that grease gets cold and freezes. I'd be willing to bet that probably won't happen, not having the excessive grease on there. So I'm going to keep using that. But yeah, give that a try if you got some of this. This freaking spray lube is awesome. I really like it. And they're coming out with a new... These bottles kind of suck. I told them that. So they're coming out with a new container for this. It's going to be an aerosol can. But it's not aerosol. The product is inside of a bag in the can. And then it's pressurized around the bag. They're supposed to send me some, so if I do a review on it or whatever, if they give it to me, I'll check that out. But yeah, try that on your fifth wheel. See what you think. Way cheaper too. Michael Page says JT got his for free. Okay. I suppose, well then, that's like a $12,000 paycheck, basically. Aaron W. got a green APU 3 weeks ago and loves it. Okay, that's good to know. Aaron, how long, well, you probably haven't used air conditioning because it's cold outside, but how long does that APU or the AC run if you leave it on all night? Will that make it through an 8-hour night or a 10-hour night? I'm curious. I'd like to know more about it. I could just go watch the videos on it, but I just can't be bothered. I don't care that much, I guess. Trucking Up says, I've been thinking about an RV AC on the roof and mount the generator on the frame rails. I like that idea. I have a hard time with the idea of the AC on the roof because it kills your aerodynamics. That's a big aerodynamic point up there, and you're putting something up there to just snag the hell out of that wind. I'd like to come up with a different way to mount it, but I do like that. I don't see why an RV generator or RV AC isn't good enough. You have way less square footage in this thing. Jerome Jones, what happened to the truck on the thumbnail? Swift got a hold of it. My driver was sitting in a dock, and Swift pulled out and turned the corner too tight and drug the trailer across the front of the truck. So, damn it, boy. Jerome, I noticed you signed up for an all-access membership on the channel. If you want to do your meeting, email me. I'd like to see you get what you pay for. And that's anybody else. There was a gentleman named Chris that signed up for it. I did one today. It was a good, productive meeting for somebody. And if you signed up for that all-access membership, I'd like to see you get what you pay for. I hate to see you throwing your money away. I mean, I appreciate it, but I feel bad, and I definitely want to make sure you get what you paid for. So shoot me an email. We could set up a time. Nevada says, freight trucking, you had the same one I'm talking about, or you're talking about an EPU? I don't know what it's. I think it's a green APU. Big noisemaker. I'm used to it. It's no louder than my reefer, and my tri-pack is on the driver's side, right under where my head is. After hauling reefer for so long, I can freaking sleep through anything. It's weird. You get used to that reefer noise, you could sleep through anything. But if for some reason that reefer doesn't kick on in the middle of the night when you know it's supposed to, you're just up. It's like your spidey senses tell you, hey, I haven't heard that reefer kick on in a while, even though you'd sleep right through it if it did. Like My Freedom says, retired Milwaukee police cousin says I'm nuts. I think he's nuts. What are you nuts for? Getting your CDL? Oh, for trucking? Nah, the man's got to make a living. It's the honest way to do it. Muhammad says, thank you for everything I learned. Well, thank you. Nevada says, is it like OnlyFans? Do we get to make suggestions? No, I'm not one of those truckers with an OnlyFans like that. I guess that one chick that, I don't know, has an OnlyFans that caused a bunch of drama. You don't want to see me on an OnlyFans. I'd have to pay you money. Vic Med says, oh wait, I don't numbers. 1,083,198. That's how many miles I have on my Series 60 engine. Well, dang it. Let me check. I gotta check my odometer. You got me beat by 70,000 miles. This thing purrs like a kitten, man. This thing, I don't know. I can't get rid of this truck. This freaking, it just runs too good. I didn't drive it. I'm ashamed to say. In October, I drove it 500 miles and it sat the rest of the time. 3 weeks ago, I started it up, pulled out of my driveway, went 20 feet, pulled into the other driveway, parked it over there, and it sat for weeks. And I went to go do a load on Friday, and the batteries were a little low. I had to turn the APU on to stoke up the batteries a little bit. And then she popped right off and ran like I just drove it yesterday. I need to exercise this thing more. It ain't good for him to sit. You got to keep the wheel seals lubricated and keep things moving. But it just is reliable. It's just there when I need it. So I don't know if I'll ever get rid of this thing. Aaron says it will. You can hear when the compressor kicks on, though. It isn't bad at all. Really kicks out the BTUs. Okay, so it does put out some good cold air. That's good. Mark Ely is in here, channel member. Says, what's up, brother? Check out this $6,800 from Salinas to Denver. Got 5K from Wyoming to Harrisonville, Missouri. Then to Oklahoma to Pottsville, 4,800. Then 2,380 on 61 miles. Oh, dang it, Mark. I'm going to need a loan. Actually, I don't need a loan. I just want you to give me some money. You got it. James Breeden says roof mounted makes more noise when just running down the road. Yeah, that air is really going to catch that sucker too. So I've seen them, the roof mounted AC units, but I don't think. I mean, if you got a truck that's already just a ugly duckling for aerodynamics, maybe not so bad, but I'd hate to take like just a beautifully designed aerodynamic truck like a Cascadia or the new Pro Stars or the new Kenworth and just mess up. I talked to an engineer from Freightliner one time. They brought him into a safety meeting I was at, and he's like, we was talking about the brand new Cascadias, and he says, we spend tens of millions of dollars on the aerodynamics for these trucks. Wind tunnels, real world testing. He says, and then you guys screw it all up by putting a bug shield on the front. He's like, it's just frustrating as hell. So, anything that sticks out, you just think of that. They spent millions of dollars on those aerodynamics, and we got to screw them up looking pretty. When do you recommend to idle your truck based on the outside cold temperature? I'm good down to if I run my APU, I don't worry at all about -5, -10. I really don't worry much about either. As long as I treated my fuel good.
Volume is at 100%.
Why is my
volume is at 90%?
Well, shut up, GPS. I don't need to hear from you. Go away. The GPS started lipping off. Yeah, but that's, circulating the coolant if I have my fuel treated good. If it's windy, it's going to be not quite that cold before I'm idling because this Freightliner leaks air like a sieve, and it don't matter what heater I turn on in here, it's going to get cold. But on a calm night, low wind, I'm good to 10 below. Now, if I don't have that APU or something circulating the coolant, well, you're going to need it unless you got a bunk heater. I mean, if you treat your fuel really well and have good, strong batteries, 0 isn't really a problem. 5 degrees, it's not really a problem. I haven't had any in my experience. Even with the APU running, I'd probably be good to less than 10 below, but it's just cold. Everything's so...
Volume is at 90%.
Shut up, lady.
Volume is at 100.
I don't care. Nobody's touching my GPS, and it won't shut up. But, yeah, the truck gets pretty stiff. Nevada says, loaded, I'm on 1,900 miles, 9K, Idaho to Ohio. Yeah, that Northwest is banging right now. Tell you what, I've been trying to get some people up there, but it's banging pretty good. Arkansas is on fire too. I've been pulling stuff out of Arkansas. Man, the rates are pretty good. Mark Ely's got to go. G-Star in here says, good evening. Greetings from Crashville. Did you notice brokers are pushing the rate to the cheapest nowadays? Yeah, they're trying. Certain areas. Certain areas are just on fire still, really high. They can't control it, but yeah, it's getting. I mean, they're still good. Even when they push them down, they're still better than they have been. But yeah, it's real. It's but a lot of people, just because the areas that they run are still banging hot, they don't see it. But if you run certain areas, you're seeing that the rates are not what they were. Even like it used to go into a couple of months ago, we were still doing a lot of short stuff in the Northeast. and just getting crazy rates, and they knock them down $600-700 on the short ones. But I mean, you're not seeing it. Well, in the holiday here, you'll see it, but for a while there, you're seeing a lot of like Chicago to the East Coast for like $5,000, and you're not seeing that anymore. I mean, you can still see $4,000, definitely, and that's good. That's very good. I mean, I'll take it all day long, but for a while there, you're pushing $5,000 from Chicago to the East Coast. But you know, that East Coast back to the Midwest it's a bugger right now. Even they've pushed the rates down in the Southeast pretty good too. So you really got to get it on the way out now. It's for a while there we were getting it both ways, which is nice, but I think we all got a little spoiled, really. Well, not spoiled because you should get it, but you know what I mean. We got too used to it too quick, I think. But hey, the holiday here is really helping stuff out. Vic Med says California wants my truck off the road by 2023, but it's still up in the air. I'm gonna cry if I have to get rid of it. It's a beast. Screw California, man. It's so nonsensical. So I don't know. Think of it. They're always worried about the carbon footprint and the emissions. Well, think about it. They're totally forgetting. You're taking a perfectly good truck, taking it off the road, just in the state of California, but then there has to be a truck manufactured to take its place. Emissions are one thing, but what do they think the freaking carbon footprint is of having to build a whole nother truck that you wouldn't have had to build if you didn't take that one out of service? So it's so stupid and inconsistent. Is it hard to find N14 parts? Are repairs generally expensive? Repairs are much more affordable. N14 is a good engine, man. And most of your older school mechanics cut their teeth on N14s and Series 60s. Parts are not terribly expensive, and you can still find them because they're not as in demand as they once were. Oh, jeepers, man. Swollen Plums, $100 super chat. Keep them warm. Enjoy your content. Thank you. Thank you, Swollen Plums. You don't have to do that. Eric V says, I would get some tank warmers or a crankcase heater. Yeah. There's all kinds of alternatives for keeping that engine block warm. Webasto makes a unit that circulates. It's a standalone little unit that goes in line, and it circulates warm coolant for your engine. They make a whole truck unit that'll circulate it through the tanks if you got the tank heaters, the fuel filter, all kinds of stuff. There's a lot of different options. Some guys will run a generator and then just plug their truck into the generator. That's a good option. Pop-Tart says company drivers get screwed over with the bad APU and trucks don't idle. I watched my husband put a big rock on the fuel pedal and it worked, but the company hated it. He made sure I was okay first. Yeah, man, if they're going to not let that truck idle, they need to make sure you're taken care of because it's not safe. Like, number one, you got to sleep, you got to be rested. And number two, like, exposure and hypothermia are a real thing. Trust me, I've been in the cold enough and had frozen fingers and toes, frostbite. That truck's got to run. It's got to be able to run somehow because APUs break down and they're going to be sorry. If it's cold enough, that truck will freeze up like a popsicle. So besides you getting hypothermia, that truck ain't going to start. So they gotta knock that off. That's where you gotta, if you're not being treated like a person, maybe find somebody who is concerned about your well-being. We got to save money. Fuel's expensive, yeah, but we're also people, and they got to be concerned about your well-being. Trucking Up says 1,200 miles to the Army Depot in Texarkana. All the scales through Texas are closed. We'll truck it up, man. Nevada deleted his California clean air sticker. There you go. Like My Freedom says, I'm sort of chunky and I'm worried about my steers. Should I stick with a 24 pack of Walmart water or just go for it and get the 36 count? Just slide your seat back. You get some weight off your steers. Hop in the sleeper. Every time you go across the scale, just hop in the sleeper. You'll come out lighter on your steers. Julio says, I installed a parking heater. Got it on eBay for $135. All right. Yeah, I like something that keeps your battery charged too, or has an independent battery bank. Strong batteries are good, important for the winter. It's another good thing to do before winter is go through and clean up all your battery connections. Get all the corrosion off. Make sure you got, your connections are tight. You definitely want that truck to crank hard and start. But what else were we going to talk about tonight? I don't even remember. I was just bored out on the road here. I'm gonna run some loads this week because I got a trailer. Some other drivers are off, so had a lead on some trailers. Actually, gonna put money down on one. Then I got some more pictures, and I could see down one side of the lower rail. The damn thing had bad electrolysis. So if you're ever looking at a trailer where that lower rail down the side of the trailer, aluminum rail, about 4 inches, you see all them rivet heads sticking through? If they ever replace a section of that, you got dissimilar metals, so your cross members will be one kind of metal, and then that rail is another kind of metal. So where they meet, like that, if they replace that section of rail and don't put something in there to keep the two metals from touching, that's going to cause electrolysis from the dissimilar metals. And what you'll see on the outside around those rivet heads, between them, it'll look like the aluminum's starting to bubble or bulge. That's not good. That can cause a failure, and that trailer can break. It's weakening that whole structure. That lower rail is a key structure for that trailer, and it's got to be strong. So it's going to become a failure point, and it could be a catastrophic failure, causing some real damage, and somebody could get hurt. So if you're looking at a trailer to buy, definitely look at that. I think it gets overlooked a lot, and it's a serious condition. It can be fixed. Well, it's not a cheap fix. I mean, you have to separate it and put some. I mean, it's so simple. All they got to do is get some kind of thick tape or something to put in there before they put that back together. And to not do it is just stupid. Even if you're going to get rid of the trailer, it costs you $5 to put some, like, throw some Gorilla Tape in there, But they don't do it. Chicken Holler just got here. Thought this was a blast from the past for a minute with DIY in a truck. Yeah, it's we trucking tonight. Trucking Up says, I just changed my injectors, did a valve job, new starter, and new shocks on your old Cummins M11, free labor. That's the worst part of it sometimes, is that labor. That M11, man, those things you can't kill them. I started off, I think the first truck I drove had an M11 in it. No, it had an 11-liter Detroit is what it had. But that M11, man, I had a friend that had one, like 2 million miles. Only thing he ever did was change injectors in it. I'm like, jeepers cripes. But running all flatland, didn't do a lot of mountains, but they'll do mountains. That little engine, man, they're hard to kill. Does the $1,400 payment a week at Prime include the insurance, permits, etc.? I don't know, and I don't care if it does. It's still too much. Like my freedom, reconsider that idea, if you would. We've talked a lot about that Prime deal, myself and Cash is King Trucking, and it's not too hard to pick apart. So maybe reconsider that. There's a lot better deals out there, but hey, you're free to do what you want. Fate Trucking says OTR Performance Diagnostic Tool is on sale till next Monday. Save $200. Yeah, we're talking. He's going to buy an OTR Performance Diagnostic Tool so that you can read your own codes, and then You can do your own forced regen if you need to. Now, I don't recommend you go playing mechanic with these things, but for $600 to keep in your truck, especially with these modern emissions engines, someday you might keep yourself off a tow hook, or even if you just read it, figure out what's wrong. Sometimes that's half the battle. Like if you have a code come up and you take it to somewhere and they're like, it's going to be 4 days before we can even look at it. Well, maybe you can just read your own code, and maybe it's something simple, a real simple sensor or something. I'm in favor of just trying to being able to help yourself, but you don't want to go clearing serious codes. But if it's a minor something, that's totally different. $600 is a small price to pay to keep your ass out of trouble. Eric V says, yeah, $1,400 is crazy. Yeah, even if it does include insurance. So I've done some lease purchases to guys on trucks, and you're like $1,000 a month. That's about what a used truck costs. I mean, so where they're getting $1,400 a week for the new truck, like I know warranty is great, but you're paying a lot of money for it. The warranty's not free. Nevada's setup is $1,251 a week set cost no matter what. Yeah, and that's on a $200 and some $1,000 truck. The truck you're getting from Prime is maybe $150. So what are they doing with the rest of that money? And you don't get to keep the truck. You make those payments. That truck's not yours. They put it on the lot, and you got to buy it back when you're done. So, and you could get 34 months into a 36-month lease and pay all that money into that truck and build all that equity, and they can fire you and you lose it all. So control your own asset whenever possible. If you have the ability to do that, you're much better off. And if not, maybe save up a little bit. Might be better. Trucking Up says, I killed it in May. Dropped the valve on the number 1 and had to do an overhaul. Oh, man. Was that on that M11? Let me go back here a second. Yeah. Well, hey, at least it was you didn't put a rod through a cylinder wall or something. It was able to be overhauled. You probably get another, what?
Volume is at 100%.
Stop it. I don't care. Go away, GPS. Shut off. My GPS keeps coming on. I don't know why. There we go. 3rd-year term at Prime. What's your term, Nevada? Your 3-year term at Prime. What's your term? My favorite term is paid for. Like, that's when you really start, winning in trucking. Yeah, it's not paid for forever, but it might be long enough to save up, pay cash for your next truck. You never know. Eric V wants to know if Trucking Up, how much did you pay for that overhaul doing it yourself? But yeah, M11, N14, both great engines. Series 60, I've often thought about just buying one. I've thought about buying a Series 60 core and getting the parts and overhauling it, so when I need it, it's there to throw into this truck. But that's an awful lot of money to just have sitting there. And who knows, I don't know, this truck could burn to the ground or something, then I don't need it. I could always sell it, but who knows, it might be freaking illegal by then. Maybe illegal to own one. Who the hell knows? Have you ever put Sensormaris, you're talking about Centromatics, on all your drives to extend tire life? I have. I used to run Centromatics all the way around. They never did me a bit of good on the steer tires. These Columbias tend to chew up steer tires. And once I started going for alignments in Kansas City to Chad down there at Alignment Solutions, he's the only one that ever solved that problem. Any Freightliner dealer, nobody could solve that problem because they were all aligning it to Freightliner spec instead of how it should go down the road. And then I stopped at the Centromatics and I started using counteract balance beads, and I like those way better. I put them in the drives, the trailer, and the steers. And I've gotten much better results out of the counteract beads than I have out of Centromatics. But you know, I've heard the results vary for different people. So, Fake Truckin' says exactly, own the asset. Yeah, he owns his asset. Nevada says, I'm considering putting those lines on my drives to keep the tires aired up. Tired of checking 18 tires. Maybe you want to try a tire pressure monitoring system. The guy that drives the Blue Mac here, he put one on. Really likes it. But if you're gonna put them, I don't know if you pull the same trailer all the time. But if you do, you got to put a repeater back between the frame rails because the Bluetooth won't cover that distance. But it's not that big a deal. They're pretty easy to install. I've thought about doing those valve stem extensions also, but just never have. I don't like spending a lot. I don't like spending money. Pop Tart Gun Trucking says, you have a good channel, putting together good information, positive. Thank you for the goodies. Oh, got to go to bed. Well, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Yeah, Michael Page says Crossfires. Yeah. So the two main ones like that are Crossfire and Cat's Eye. I think it's called Cat's Eye, if I remember right. I had the Crossfires. I had nothing but problems with them. I took the damn things off and threw them right in the garbage. The damn things would leak. They wouldn't work. I had a tire go down, and the doohickey there never even changed color to tell me it was down. I didn't find it till I was thumping tires, and I just got fed up with them, and I just threw them in the freaking garbage. But a buddy of mine had the Cat's Eyes ones, and he said that he really liked them. I don't even know if they make them anymore. I haven't seen them in a long time. Ooh, Trucking Up says that overhaul turned into $29,700. Damn, that's a lot considering you did the labor yourself. Did you do like a whole outer frame and everything? Damn, I would think that the M11 could be overhauled for like doing it yourself. I mean, 16 at the most. Probably far less than that, but maybe you went way deeper into it. Trucking Across America in the house. Thanks for coming in. Says, we trucking, Maine. All right. Alex says, I use a winter windshield fluid for balance in tires. We'll see. It's a cheap way. Yeah, I don't want to be putting fluid in these tires. I want it nice and dry in there. Trucking Up says, if I could have got it home, I would have done it myself for $14K. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying you did do it yourself. My mistake. I misunderstood you. Okay. Yeah, $29,700. When I overhauled this one, I took it right to Detroit Diesel OEM. Not like Freightliner, but right to Detroit. And 2016 was $17,000 for a full everything, turbo and injectors and everything. So 29's, that's considerably higher. Hakeem says, you out trucking? Yeah, I'm trucking a little bit for the week here. Oh, read the comment before that. Oh, okay. I missed your whole comment. That's a sore subject. Happened in Cincinnati. Every shop was 1.5 to 2 months before they could look at it. Cummins said they could get right on it. Shouldn't be more than $18K. Whew, damn. Well, if Cummins, Cummins Direct did it, should be, best workmanship ever. But how do they go from $18K to $29,700? Must have. Can't remember what you said happened. You said it dropped a valve, if I remember. So you probably were automatically getting a new head. Maybe they had a bunch of stuff and a bunch of add-ons like a turbo and a bunch of stuff. I don't know. Maybe you needed an ECM. It can add up. They can encounter things when they start pulling it apart. Eric V says, well, thanks for letting me know, man. I'm looking at getting a 99 Kenworth with an N14. I should be good if I can run for at least a few months without any major issues. N14's a good engine, man. It's a damn good engine. Gary Bates in here, Dud Hemsworth. Cashing that insurance check, Dud for the win. All right. What tires do you recommend running? Funny you ask that. I've been trying to stock up on some tires. So I sent some tires. I don't normally run recaps, but it's becoming necessary just because of, having the more trailers and such. But I sent some used steer tires in for recaps and tried to get I was going to stock like 16 drive tires. And, well, because the orange truck here needs a set of drives, so I was going to get set for that. And then eight more just to have an extra set of drives in case the driver needs them. And then I was going to get like, I don't know, 10 steer tires and have some kind of stack of like, I don't know, 20, 30 trailer tires sitting there because they're getting hard to get. So I called the dealer. My place I use is the second biggest tire distributor in the country. It's Pumps. They're the second biggest. And I'm just going through the list of tires that I want. And they're like, can't get them. Can't get them. I got 8 of those, but I got to give them to another guy who needs them. You're just inventorying them. They need them like today. Can't get them. Can't get them. So my choice right now anyway is Yokohama, because the new Yokohama steer, the 101 ZLs, is a lower rolling resistance than the Michelin's, and they're about 60% the price. They're a little more than half the price. So, and they're good tires. I've been running them. I've been running on the steers the Yokohama, was it 617, I think, but they're hard to get now. I like to run my steer tires 16 ply. So now they got the 101 ZLs. So we started running those, having great results with them. And they are, what the hell did we just get? I just ordered 8 of them. And with my national account, they were $360 a piece, if I remember right. And they're great tires. So for years now, I've been running the Yokohama drive tires, the MC, well, they are RY517s or TY517s, I forget. I really like them. That's all I've been running. And the rolling resistance is 1 or 2 points higher than a Michelin. And once again, they're a fraction of the price. So I've been using all Yokohamas here for quite some time. I'm really happy with them. And when you get to that, to me, they're kind of right in that perfect point for me for price and rolling resistance, and then you got quality mixed in there. They kind of meet right at that point where I'm comfortable. So yeah. Anyway, so with the shortages, I tried to get Bridgestone tires. I tried to get Michelin's. I wasn't gonna, but I looked for some Bridgestone trailer tires, some Firestone trailer tires. I couldn't get them. So right now I'm stuck with some recap trailer tires on order. And then we got 8 of the Yokohama drives. And I got steer tires on order. They're shipping them in from different stores far away. 2 here, 3 there, 1 over here. Just to get them. And he's like, this is just getting stupid. So what do I recommend? I recommend what you can get. And maybe buy a couple extra. Put them in your garage. Because tires are getting rough to get a hold of. You gotta compromise. Can't necessarily get what you want, but you'll get something. 702 Trucker says, I bought some fuel ox, second week using it. Well, good deal. I hope it works out good for you. Hey, we were talking earlier that I talked to the guys from Fuel Ox the other day, and he's like, hey, Adam, try this. He's like, take this Infinity Lube and spray it on your fifth wheel. You get most of the grease off your fifth wheel, just leave a little bit on there. Spray this on there, because the main ingredient in this is that friction eliminator. And I did it in this freaking truck, this rough riding Columbia, if you don't keep that fifth wheel grease, it rides like hell, and that's working as good as greasing the fifth wheel. And then come, being the winter times coming, you don't get that cold frozen grease, mucking up your jaws to keep from closing. If anybody who's from the north spends a lot of time in the cold, you'll know that eventually at some point you'll fight that that fifth wheel lock in there. Oh, if you're gonna order it, incidentally, fuellocks.com, use that promo code DIY Semi and get 15% off every order for forever. And Nevada, I checked on that. You said that you used 2 promo codes. I went on and I did that, and it only accepts one. This, I think, the second one you put in. So you should get it's I don't know. Trucker Style Sean, I think, has the same discount, so you should have gotten just 15%. But anyway, ooh, Trucking Up says he got a mechanic in Hondo, Texas, that will do an out-of-frame overhaul on an N14 for $15K. That's a good price. It takes a lot of extra time to pull that engine. It takes a lot of extra time. He's an old school 30-year veteran. Okay. Do I think most warehouses will have 4 days, weekends because of Thanksgiving? I see most loads picking up Wednesday, delivering Monday. There's going to be some of that. I know somebody that works at a large dry van company, and they say they're having trouble finding loads for places that are even open on Wednesday to ship the product. So, reefer, I'm seeing there's places open Friday, Wednesday and Friday. So, depends on what kind of trailer you're pulling. If you keep looking, you'll find something. You'll definitely find something. And you should get good money for it, honestly. Do I have my tires balanced when I install? No, I use the counteract balance beads. And that's the nice part too. If you ever need a steer tire on the side of the road or something, you got them balance beads, throw them in there, it's already balanced. Whereas if you have a steer tire go down, they come out and put it on, it ain't getting balanced. You're going to have to go to a shop and have them do it. This way you just throw it in there and you're good to go. I've tried the Equal, that stuff. It's some different. The counteract is like a glass bead. That Equal is kind of, I don't know what the hell, it's some kind of rubber-ish type stuff. And I could see that clumping up easier, holding moisture. So, I don't know. Cattle Holland says bought it Volvo back in 2000 with a 500 Detroit. Loved that motor. Yeah, one of the best ever, man. It's hard to beat a Detroit 60 series. I mean, the C15 Cat's great. The predecessors, the 3406. A lot of engines were good at one time, man. Tell you what, you didn't have all these freaking problems you got now. You'd run it till it needed an overhaul, and then you'd overhaul it or put a set of injectors in it, and you were back in business for another 500,000 or 1,000,000 miles. Now these freaking things are always in the shop. Dirty Broke in here. Thanks for coming in, man. Everybody check out Dirty Broke's channel. That's a great channel. Good guy. Helps a lot of people. Trucking Up says, instead of spending so much on Centromatics, you can balance tires cheap with airsoft BBs. Yeah, same concept as the counteract. I don't know that there's a lot of weight to those BBs though, is there? You measure them out. How much volume does 10 ounces of those BBs take? Like a cup or what? Dud hit the like button. Thank you, Dud. Hakeem's just leaving Seattle. It's been colder up here at night. He's in Weed, California. All right. Everybody's slapping fives, saying hi to each other. Yeah, I don't know. Holidays kind of. Freight is looking good. They're still not ponying up in some areas though. I was looking in that southeast and the northeast. And probably gonna be one of those scenarios where you got to hit them last minute to get extra money and just hope that there's still something available. I know everybody was pushing. Well, wait till the last minute. Well, that works now. because freight's so busy. But you get into a slower freight market, and you got to use a different strategy. You got to book ahead in a slower market, or you will be left with nothing. But plenty of freight right now in most areas. After DAT, what load boards would you recommend to a new authority? I would only pay for one. There's so many free ones out there. A lot of them are duplicates. I mean, Internet Truck Stop would be the other big one, but I wouldn't pay for both of them. Most of your bigger brokers have their own load boards, so definitely get signed up for all the broker load boards. Some of them will post more loads on there than they do on DAT, like Robinson. Robinson doesn't post all their loads on DAT. You got to look at their load board. And then, the usual suspects, Coyote, TQL, just about every big broker has one. But what I like to do is not book, see how much of my freight I can book away from the load board. And the way you do that, when you talk to brokers, you're talking to a new broker, you book a load with a new broker, just say, hey, do you guys send out any kind of email load lists? And a lot of them do. A good majority of them do. And if they say yes, well, they say, put me on it. And they'll put you on it, and you'll get emails every day about available loads. And some of the brokers prefer to book their loads that way than on the load board because they know who they're dealing with. If you're getting that email load list, you've done business with them before, so it's not unknown to them. So that's a really good way to go about it. My least favorite load board, I don't know. I'll tell you what, TQL's load board really sucks. They don't post all their loads on it. They don't give you enough information. It's pointless, if you ask me. Cattle Holland says, all these emissions and after treatment issues, and the engineers are worried about bug shields. Yeah. It was just a statement. It's government mandates. I mean, EGR is like the worst thing you could do to a diesel, yet they didn't care. The government mandated it, and then the OEMs had to figure it out. It's a horrible thing to do to a diesel. So I mean, not don't get me wrong, I don't feel sorry for the OEMs, but it's like hand down this ridiculous, stupid mandate, and then the OEMs got to find a way to implement it. It's just like the whatever hours of service rules or ELD rules handed down to us. It's a one size fits all, dumb as hell thing, and then we got to find a way to implement it and deal with it. Well, they kind of do those things to the OEMs also. And then, that wasn't good enough. So now you got to have a DPF. You got to incorporate that in, which is another dumb thing to do to a diesel. And then the urea. I mean, it's just compounding one dumb thing after another. It's just not how diesels kind of work. Faint Trucking says, on home time, yet watching YouTube trucking. I have an addiction. Yeah, if you're on home time, what are you doing here? You should be spending that time with the family. How much should an owner-operator be looking to make weekly, monthly, running 2,500 to 3,000 miles a week? You talking about gross or net? Like, how much should your take-home checks be? Now, here's an argument I have with people all the time. And yes, it's semantics, but not saying it right or getting it right leads to misunderstandings. And when you're comparing numbers, you kind of got to do apples to apples. So when you say I grossed $10,000 this month and you're leased onto a carrier, and say you're 80% of that is $8,000, you didn't gross $10,000. Your carrier grossed $10,000. You grossed $8,000. Okay. Yes, it's semantics, but it matters because if you're talking to somebody that is intending the whole different thing, that's $8,000 is you money. That's your gross. The 10 was your carrier's gross. Because if you're having a conversation with somebody and he's saying, I'm grossing 10, and the other guy's like, I'm grossing 8, they could be talking about the same damn thing. So let's just talk about the same thing, okay? I ain't hating on anybody for saying it wrong, but it's not level all the way around. So, I mean, what kind of trailer are you pulling? You talking, how often are you going home? Like, you should be bringing home a good amount of money. I mean, like, after fuel and stuff, I mean, I'm kind of like, you should be bringing home $4,000 a week. So after truck payment and blah blah blah, that's, if you're pulling reefer, if you're pulling van, I don't know, maybe less than that, but even van freight's paying great. So, and I'm talking about net after fuel, after whatever deductions are coming out from your leased on carrier. So I mean, you're probably talking about like a gross of what, 7,500, and this is average. Obviously, there's going to be weeks where you gross. I'm talking about your gross, not your carriers, where you gross like 7,000 to 10,000 right now. We're just kind of talking averages. I don't know, and that's so different. You could be a heavy hauler and low boy, or you could be a dry van. You could be a reefer, or you could be, I don't know, pulling a tanker. So, what's the average in what you're doing? I don't really know, but it should be. Right now, it should be enough money to change things for you, to change your situation. I mean, if you're leased on as an owner operator pulling reefer right now, and you're bringing home like $1,500 to $2,000 a week, and you're practically living in the truck, you are getting hosed. That's something that dog don't hunt right now. You should be double that. So, but if you're home every weekend, you're gonna lessen your opportunities. But if you're out running OTR, you gotta be way above that. Yeah, TQL, they call also. Yeah. Eric, are you running reefer or dry today? Okay. Eric, what kind of trailer are you pulling, and like kind of where are you at for an average, if you don't mind me asking? If you don't want to say, that's cool too. But other people can kind of throw out where they're at if they're doing a similar kind of trailer, and maybe you see what everybody else is doing. It might spur you to make a change or something. I don't know. Jackknife says, man, if you ask that, that's a little scary. You need a little more experience. I don't mind, helping people out. Like, I'm just saying, at some of these mega carriers, the Stockholm syndrome's strong, man. Like, they convince you that this is the way and it's the only way and this is normal and everybody does it. Well, truck diver. I need 2 steers. I've had great luck from Yokohama, $1,100 for 2. Michelin is $1,500. My thoughts? Okay. Great tire, great choice. Not a great price. We need to get you on some kind of national account, my friend. I recently just bought 2 Yokohamas, mounted valve stem, counteract beads, $880 installed. So, how you paying for those? You using a national account, or you just paying retail? Because we gotta help you get that price down, man. We gotta help you get that price down. Trucking across America, I'm making my kids watch. I told them, you're the Mr. Beast of Freightliner Columbias. That's right. I thought you were out driving, trucking across America. Nevada says 6 to 12 a week for solo is what I'd be looking for. Yeah, but that's a pretty big range, man. 6 to 12. I mean, you're talking a $6,000. He's kind of looking for an average. I mean, that's a big spread there. I speak about the 100% because I think it's important to know potential, but yes, your percentage in my case, 88% is my gross. Yes. It also comes to play when you're talking about doing your taxes. I sent somebody in to see an accountant, and where they took their pay stubs and they said, "Oh, gross! This is your gross." You know, on my pay stubs I show what the truck grossed, to me, money that for that period, and then their percentage is X amount. Well, the accountants start to go off the gross. That's not right. That's not their cut. Their cut is the 80%. So I had to explain that. But it's yeah. Good evening. What are your thoughts and pros and cons between flatbed, either 4853 and drop decks? I mean, I owned a 48 step deck. I've done flatbed. Flatbed, almost everybody's a 48. Anything that goes on a flatbed just about will fit on a 48. So 53, if I remember right, California has a problem with 53-foot spread axles, if I remember right. If you don't go to California, it's not an issue. Step deck, I like that. I'd probably just go 48. Maybe you can find a 50. I've seen some 50-footers out there. But if you need to spec it to what you're going to be doing, if you're hauling long pipe, if you have like a contract where you're hauling long pipe, maybe you want to go with the 53. But just about everything out there flatbed is 48. I think, was it Melton and Mercer or somebody? One of the two. Don't they have a bunch of 53s? I don't know. Low 6K to 12K is what I've seen from my buddy's dry van solo. Okay. Generally be in the western region. All right. But you're willing to go where the money is. Well, that's a good. Yeah, you definitely want to go where the money is. My average for third quarter dry van team was $13,300 a week. Okay, that's pretty good. Jackknife says you're talking about that prime Kool-Aid. Yeah, they should start putting the Kool-Aid man on the side of their trailer. Remember the Kool-Aid man busting through a brick wall? That Kool-Aid's strong over there. Terry Hull says, I average 4 to 5K gross at US Express. Now, is that their gross or is that your gross? Because people talk about that differently. That's why I'm trying to standardize that. Let's get us all talking about the same thing. Okay, truck diver, that was retail on those tires? Okay. Email me if you want. I'll turn you on to a couple good national accounts if you're interested. You get I just bought a full set of 8 Yokohama drive tires for $3,067. Well, that's with FET. So let me see what that is a piece. 3,067 divided by 8. It's $383 per tire with FET. So that's a price too. Whenever you call on a tire, remember there's FET tax on that. So always have them quote it with FET so that you don't get there and get the tire and then it's like $30 more. When you're comparing, prices of tire, if you're shopping around this store to this store, well, if one guy doesn't include FET, might make somebody's price look different. And then also on tires, good tip here. Let's see here, $3,000. Buy those tires in a state with no sales tax on trucking. So, like Wisconsin, a lot of your states have a rolling stock exemption. So a lot of them, and I'm not talking about like, oh yeah, there's certain states that don't have sales tax. I'm talking about there's certain states like, Wisconsin, Ohio, Georgia, Indiana, Missouri, Kansas. There's all kinds of states that have a rolling stock exemption for sales tax. If you buy those $3,000 tires in a state like that, you're going to save $165 in sales tax. So if you're on a national account, it doesn't matter where you buy them. You get the same price everywhere in the country. So, don't pay too much, get them on a national account, and don't pay sales tax. What does it matter to you if you go to a Love's in Wisconsin or a Love's in, I don't know, Texas? It's just Love's is a Love's, right? Same tires. Brian Brooks, okay, he's pulling a reefer out of Chicago with his own DOT. Jackknife says the sad part is last summer I remember buying 4 Kumho tires and paid $1,200 installed. Damn, even that's high. Like that's a second tier tire. Shouldn't be that much. Tires are going through the roof. Besides the shortages, that's part of the reason I'm stocking up mostly is because of the shortage. But I've seen 3 tire increases this year, and they just went up again in November. So, I don't know. Wish I had them before, but not gonna fool me again. Hakeem says that's what he's doing for his company weekly, 11 to 13 to 15 grand. Okay. The way I figure my numbers is home bills and fixed. Variable cost gives me my bottom dollar. I know a lot of people like to encourage that. I do not believe it's right to include home bills in your business. That's completely separate. I mean, you can do it any way you want. I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying, like, business is business. Home is home. You don't include your home expense in your, like, if you have a job, do you? I mean, you of course you account for it, but you don't go to your boss and say, I got to make 55 cents a mile instead of 52 because my rent is $1,300 a month instead of $800. It's a separate issue. I keep your expenses as low as you can, obviously, but my home expense does not go into my cost per mile. It has absolutely nothing to do with trucking. That's separate, but at any rate, any way you want to do it is fine. I get that. I get what you're saying. Do I use an accountant? Yes, I do. Can I get their info? They probably won't touch you if you're outside of Wisconsin. They're very good with trucking, but I don't. I probably ain't gonna give that out. That's too personal and too close to home. So sorry about that. But I would definitely recommend use a CPA. Like if you're in trucking, if you're in business, H&R Block ain't for you. And try to find somebody. Check references. Ask them for some references from some trucking clients that they have. See if they're happy. Yeah, Fate Trucking says, Eric V, search your area and call the office and see if they work with trucking companies. Yep, absolutely. I'm heading, 702 says, I'm heading from Cali to Vegas. The Amazon King, $9,000 average, power only. There you go. Yeah, power only is paying good. Historically, that's not been true, but I mean, that's the way the times are now. Power only pays good, so you can make good money doing that. And it's kind of nice because trailers suck so bad right now, the prices. Like, if you can get started in trucking right now with not having to buy a trailer, that's a great thing because, gosh damn, it's discouraging. I'm about to give up trying to find more trailers because they're just stupid prices. Like, I won't be ripped off. There's no reason for it. Like, I've called the dealer on Friday, and they give me a price. Call them back again on Monday, and the trailer is literally $8,000 higher. One place hit me with a $15,000 increase. Friggin' moron in Omaha at a dealer over there. The other joker was in Sioux City, Iowa. And the one he was trying to sell me was junk. That was the one with the electrolysis all down the side. Alex says 53 flatbed is better. Might get a partial on it. Yeah, that's the nice part about flatbed. You can piece together that partials, man. As long as they're honest on the length. Sometimes they lie to you about the length, and you get there and you can't get it on, and then you're like, screw you, I just drove out of my way to get this. But yeah, I don't have to worry about breaking the seal on a flatbed. Skinny Peter says my average is 6 to 12. Just depends on how stimulated I am. Well, get stimulated, Skinny. Go get that money. Hakeem says that's the all-in gross the truck made. I'm only a six-figure employee. Only a six-figure employee? That's a pretty good employee, man. Don't sell yourself short. Isn't it crazy that we talk about, like, if you're only making $100,000 in trucking now, you're not making enough? I mean, 3 years ago, if we would have said that, everybody would laugh and say, oh, that's stupid. Now we look at it like, yeah, what about it? No big deal. Eric V says, I've been looking, just don't know who to trust. References. You want references. Alex says, what is a national account? So, okay, a national account is like you can get them in different places through associations you belong to. We're talking about tires. And also, some of the big carriers you can get on their national account it's like a national buying power program where you get really good discounts. Most of your big carriers offer them, and some associations. So, like, I think OIDA used to have a good one. They used to have the Bridgestone account, but that kind of went away. Nastic has one. Their prices suck. Sorry, Nastic, but your tire discounts suck. I'm quitting Nastic, by the way. They can kiss my ass, and I let them take their fuel cards and stuff them up their ass. I use a certain carrier. I got three different national accounts. One, oh, screw it, I'll give them away. The first one is truckersb2b.com. Everybody out there that's an owner-operator should belong to truckersb2b.com. Truckers, the number B, or the letter, the letter B, the number 2, not TWO, but the number 2, the letter B.com. It's free, okay? I did a video on this, and boy, did people get up my ass for this video of, like, promoting things. Like, Truckers B2B has never freaking heard of me. They don't know who I am. I don't get any money from them. It's free to join. They got discounts on a lot of different things. Their fuel discounts are not great. But, like, if you have AT&T, they have discounts on Best Pass. Their tire discount program is good. It's called the Gold program. They got a bunch of different kind of tires on there. Their tire discount program is pretty good. For an independent owner-operator, it's one of the better ones you're going to get. Okay? But they got discounts on factoring. They got discounts on tolls, maintenance. They got a towing something or other that's a piece of crap. But their tire program is very good. The other discounts you got to look into and see. You might be getting something better. But it's free. It is easy. So why would you not? Anyway, so Truckers B2B is one. If you like Goodyear tires, you might not find better pricing than JB Hunt. JB Hunt has a great tire pricing program, but it is Goodyear only. So if you run super singles, which, whatever, it's up to you. I have one trailer with super singles because, hey, when you need a trailer, the price is right. If it has super singles on it, you might buy it anyway. I'm just saying. Depends on how bad you need it. That trailer gets Goodyears. They have a good discount. And once again, your decision. If you choose to run recaps, you can get a smoking deal on Goodyear super single recap trailer tires. I'm just saying. Like, I think they're $250 if you have a casing to turn in. $250 versus, full retail for a virgin super single Goodyear, you're looking at like $1,100. And you can't get them right now. That's what made me try the recaps, because I couldn't get the virgins. And I'm like, this is working out. I could put new tires on this thing. You're always worried about shedding a cap or caps, whatever, this and that. I could put tires on that trailer, brand new caps, almost twice a year, every year, versus buying virgin. So I still am not real happy with it, but like right now, you gotta make some tough decisions if you need freaking tires. So JB Hunt, if you got Goodyears, the one I use the most is CR England Logistics. Great tire prices. Easy to use. All you do is call them, say, hey, I'm getting tires. I'm getting a set of Yokohamas here at Pomps. Call them, pay for them, and then England call you back and get your credit card number or whatever. Give them a com check and get your tires on. It's real easy. And the prices are great. So those 3 places, if you're independent, definitely want to get on their programs. All of them are free. How you get on JB Hunt, you just got to pull a load for them. And then the same with Sierra England. Might be worth taking a Sierra England loads pay pretty good, but even if you find one that doesn't pay good, it might be worth taking it just to get on their doggone tire program. Oh, and England, why am I giving all this away for nothing? England has great discounts at Love's and Speedco on services. I sent a truck into a Speedco or Love's, one or the other. I know it's the same thing, but I can't remember which one you went to. A couple weeks ago, used the England discount with semi-synthetic oil. His PM service was $250. All said and done, a full PM. So that's a pretty good price. Let's see. All right, people throwing out numbers here. R2DB, if the home is your office, sure you can deduct the square footage of the office. In my case, no. I have a legitimate office. You can also have a home office. If you work out of it, you can claim some home office. But be advised, so what happens, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can actually keep receipts of your home office usage, so your phone, internet, whatever, blah, 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 your property tax bill, portion of that. Or you can have, they have like a standard, it's not called a standard home office deduction, but it's like a flat rate home office deduction. I figured it both ways. For a few years there, I kept all my receipts and compared, and I was within like $50 of itemizing that or using the flat rate one. So I'm like, screw it, I'm doing all this freaking record keeping for $50. Easier just to take the standard one. So take that. But be advised, if you sell that home, you have to recapture that depreciation. So that home office thing, it depreciates out that portion of your home. And if you do that for 10 years, I mean, say it's $600 a year, a lot of people think you got to pay capital gains. That's not true. It's worse than that. It's recapturing depreciation, which is a higher tax rate. So if you sell that home or close your business, you will have to reclaim that quote deduction that you took on your home office at some point when it's all over. I've had really good luck with Dave Ramsey Accountants, ELP off his website. Yeah, I am. So for taxes, and maybe you're doing this, Nevada, I don't know, and it's whatever. Somebody else asked me this today, as a matter of fact. I want somebody face-to-face. I'm not sending my receipts anywhere. I'm not meeting somebody online. Taxes is a serious issue. I want to sit in front of them, and I want to know that they know what they're talking about. I have a lot of questions. I want them all answered. They want questions. They have questions for me. And more importantly, they will be held accountable. It's hard to hold somebody accountable from 3 states away or 5 states away. I want to drive to their office and look them in the eye and tell them, you're going to fix this. Because if a CPA does your taxes and they screw them up, guess what? You're still liable. Unless they're a tax attorney, they are presumed not to know the law. So if you're CPA, you got to sit for a freaking what do they call it for CPA? The test. What's the test called? I can't remember. But anyway, it's extensive training. But legally, they're still presumed not to know the law unless you were a tax attorney. So you are still liable. You sign that tax return. So I want to have a lot of conversations with them. It might cost me money. It might cost me $200-300 to sit there and talk to them. but damn it, it's important to me. Will the DOT shut you down if you don't have registration papers for the trailer? If they want to be jack wagons, you are allowed to carry digital copies now. So if it's your trailer, definitely carry a digital copy of everything. That's suitable now. It can pass. But you know, if you're at a way station, company driver, more often they're not. I mean, if they're decent, they're just going to let the company fax the permit to you. They can look it up. Just got to take down the freaking license plate number, see if the thing is registered. Depends on how much of a jackwagon he wants to be. Nevada's got the TSD open roads fuel card. Any experience? If I'm not mistaken, is that the one that's prepaid? Their discounts are pretty good. How can you say that about Nasty Nastic? Because I'm tired of them. You know, passing themselves off as to me, they're becoming OOIDA, if you ask me. But truckersb2b.com, yep, that's it right there. Definitely sign up. Evening all. Any word about the FMCSA exemption? I checked on it today. There was no, because somebody else asked me. I got a text message, and I checked on it today. There was no, as of about 1 p.m., there was no extension. Not a mention of it on the FMCSA website. So, you know how to find long-term parking, like an app or a website? I get an email about once a month from a place that sells long-term parking. I don't remember. I'd always delete their email because I don't give a damn. Don't need it. But next time it comes in, I'll try to remember to give the name of the place. They got places all around the country that they rent places. All right, Eric V's going to bed. Thanks for coming in. Nevada CR England Tire Program. Yes. It's through their brokerage. It's called England Logistics. But you gotta pull a load for them to be able to get into it. They also do a fuel card. It's not that great. It's Love's based. The discount's not great, but if you're getting nothing, that would be okay. But that TSD card would be better than their fuel program. 702 Trucker. I'm going to give it a try at Ritchie Brothers tomorrow in Vegas. How much is too much for a 2012 Great Dane? You talking about a van or a reefer? 2012 Great Dane reefers I've been seeing going for like 40 grand right now, which is ridiculous. Maybe not 40 average. I've seen them higher than that, but average probably like 35 grand, 30 to 35, and that's too much. But I worry about the auctions. Like, I know a lot of people are buying stuff at auction now, but from the prices I've seen coming out of these auctions, it kind of turns into a frenzy. Like, people don't know when to stop bidding, because I think people are so scared that they can't get equipment any other way. But 2012 van, I mean, in normal times, that 2012 van would be like $5,000, but right now you're probably going to pay, I don't know, in the 20s, maybe 30. I don't know. Depends on how many people show up for the auction, honestly. Any tire discounts for people leased to a carrier? Yeah, your carrier should offer you discounts. They should sign up for those. If not, use the Truckers B2B anyway. That's a good discount. It's within a couple dollars of CR England. And you can get that Truckers B2B even if you're leased to a carrier. You can get all their services even if you're leased to a carrier. But if you're leased to a carrier and they're not giving you discounts like that, like, tell them, man. It doesn't cost them anything. Like, I pass these 100% of these discounts on to my drivers, and they're freaking, those tire discounts are freaking serious. Hakeem says, Loves, I know for sure their discounts cut work orders in half or reduce it by as high as 70%. Yeah, man, I'm telling you that England Logistics discount is a real deal. at Love's Speedco, man. It'll knock a PM like drastically, and you still get all the same services. Fisherman says, just got my first truck and started my LLC. 2018 Cascadia Evolution. Any common problems on those trucks? Anything to watch for? I mean, yeah, injector seals seem to leak, but it's not a major thing. Saw something about a steering. There's a recall on some steering components or something. I don't know. Asian might put a video out about that, but just the normal emissions stuff, man. Just the same as every other damn truck on the roads having the different emissions problems. Okay, TSD, you just link a debit card. Yeah, watch out for those I know somebody that uses that, and he says the transaction fees. You got to pay a fee to load the card, and then a fee to use it. You got to figure those fees into your fuel price, per gallon. But if you load the card and put a large amount on there, then you're cutting that to pennies. But compare it. I don't know. I'm on the fence about Nastic's fuel card anymore. They seem to keep more and more of the discount for themselves. But it's a pretty decent discount. And then you got XPO. XPO has a pretty decent discount program. But I'm tired of paying fees. That's part of the reason I'm kicking Nastic to the curb. I'm just tired of fees. A fee for this, a fee for that. Just tired of it. They want to charge you a fee to use their fuel card, and thus you'll travel to Nashville and spend the weekend sitting in a high-pressure sales program for them to sell you the rest of their junk. And if you don't, you got to pay $35 a month to be on their fuel card program. And just like that's stupid, because you're already getting money from it. You're keeping a percentage of the discount for yourself. So it's not like it's for free. And you're just trying to get your hands on more of my money. I'm just tired of it. There's better options out there. MUDFLAP is pretty decent. A lot of people hate it, but you know what? A lot of people don't have the credit to get a fuel card. Okay? And some people are against using credit. So, hey, it's free, so don't knock it. Hakeem says, I had that happen with the truck in Colorado Friday, had a digital copy of the plate registration, said it's legit. Yep, everything can be done digitally now, if you like. I like to do both, in case you lose one. Cattle Holland says, the last few times FMCSA extended it at the last minute. Yeah, the last time they extended it the day after it expired. So, we're keeping an eye out for that. Something people need to know about that, using that exemption now. If you didn't read the last extension from beginning to end, you won't know this. So if you're using the COVID exemption rule, you must, if you are a carrier, go on the FMCSA website and fill out a report every time one of your trucks uses that exemption. Did you know that? You can read it in the rule. So start using that with caution. Okay, because you are required to report it every month, every time a truck uses that rule on the FMCSA portal website. So that's kind of a deterrent right there not to use it. Hakeem says, they did Loves and TA and Petro Sierra England card I had, but that big, huge maintenance discount was Loves and Speedco. Yes, that's it right there. 2013 53-foot dry van at the current rate seems to be about $24,000 to $26,000. They barely cost that. They didn't even cost that brand new back then. That's just crazy. Okay, TSD said they take 10% of the discount, so if you save $100, they take $10. Man, that kind of sucks. It kind of sucks. 702 Trucker, Sierra England has a carrier package load board. Yeah, I don't know if they have a load board. I think they probably, yeah, you can, I think they have you can look up loads on their site, if I remember. I get England and Night mixed up sometimes, but They definitely have a carrier package. Once you pull a load for them, you can get in on it. Substantial tire discounts and meh fuel savings. I think their fuel network is tied to Love's, and I think they give you 15 cents a gallon. So that ain't great, but if you got nothing else, there's better ones out there, man. Like if you carry a second fuel card, maybe you want to tie your second fuel card to that, have your better discount at the other one, but and then the Speedco Loves for maintenance, definitely. Jackknife says, I'm a TCS fuel card, but the only downfall, it's a pain to put money in the account. You either need an ACH from your bank or Western Union. Yeah, that's kind of a pain. Nevada, I think you or Cash mentioned that an app to find long-term parking in your area. Do you recall what it's called? That would have been Cash is King. So definitely ask him. He did a video on that, I think, finding parking. What fuel card do you recommend? I have the TSD Comdata, MUDFLAP, and MS Fuel Service, and TSD always beats all. Here's the thing about fuel cards. What's true today probably ain't true tomorrow. Not true the day after that. Not true the day after that. If you're on, the best thing you want to do is get on a cost plus program. All right, because wholesale prices can change every day. Geographically, whatever. So have multiple options. I offer my guys 3 different options for fuel cards. One of them is consistently the best, but the other 2 are like neck and neck. So have different options. No rule against carrying more than one fuel card. I carry a Comdata, an EFS, and then there's always the MUDFLAP option. I use MUDFLAP quite a bit because of where I'm at. Pretty good discounts. But carry multiple options. And I always just say, hey, here's the app. You check your prices. And check every day before you buy fuel. Now, there's some that are just a flat rate. Like that England one. It's 15 cents off at Love's. I don't want a cents off price. I want a cost plus. So if you don't know what a cost plus is, it is wholesale cost of the fuel plus a markup. So one of the programs I'm on, and I will not mention it because you can't get it anyway. It's something I had from way back. Got it a long time ago and just held on to it. Is wholesale cost plus 4 cents. So I pay the wholesale cost of the fuel plus 4 cents per gallon. Now the markup might be 40 cents a gallon. So if you're on a straight cents off pump price, it's like 15 cents off pump price. Okay, so if you're 40 cents more, you take off 15 cents, you're still 25 cents a gallon more than I'm paying at cost plus. So cost plus is about the best deal you can get. The NASTIC card is a cost plus discount. I believe the TSC or TSD or TCS or whatever the hell it's called, I believe that is a cost plus program. So whenever you're looking for XPO is a cost plus discount. Who else has got one out there? Off the top of my head, I'm not remembering. But when you're looking for one, just try to find that cost plus program. Okay, that will almost always be your best pricing. And then have a couple of them. Have one on your Comdata, have one on your EFS, and compare them and pit them against each other every single day. Not TCS, it's called TSD Open Roads. Okay. Maybe there's 2, I don't know. Maybe they're different ones. Fate Trucking says, at Nevada, the app is called Truck Parking. Okay. Okay. Something must be wrong with B2B. Sign-up error. Tried multiple times. Let me just go to their website here and see if I can get on Truckers B2B. I probably just crashed the site. Truckers B2B.com. No, it brings up their site. I got their site on my tablet right here. So it is working. I don't know. Maybe a link is broken or something. But yeah, definitely get signed up there. See, I should have got some kind of discount code for that. I don't think they do that though. Oh, the site works, the sign up does not? Okay. Well, try again tomorrow. Maybe the site maintenance or something, or call them up. Definitely call them up.
Hello, Moto.
Oh, I got bounced out there for a minute. I gotta run. I got something I gotta take care of here with a load. So sorry about that. We'll catch y'all later. Thanks everybody for coming in, and y'all have a good night.